Flano, what were the takeaways from the weekend's game? Obviously, great win for the club, but a lot of injuries that may hurt you down the stretch.
Yeah, well, time will tell with the injuries. We'll get a few of those back, but some of those are season-ending as well. So it's not ideal. We've got too many players that have been out for the whole year. But some sides go through it. You go through it different years. You don't have any out, and it's unfortunate. We've, especially the ACLs. It's too common. But this group will fight on. We're putting a good team out there tomorrow, so I expect to go similar to last week.
Who do you like? A guy like Emre, how much do you expect him to step up? Because from the weekend, I probably thought that was his best game. He played for the Dragons, sort of led from the front in defence and attack. Yeah,
it was a big game for Emre last week. His 100th game, but I spoke to him during the week. That's the sort of standard we expect from him. He had a good start for us when he came. He came late to the club this year, and then had some bad injuries, and then had a suspension. So he just hasn't had consistency in his footy. I'd like to think he had a couple of games in reserve grade, back into first grade, and we see that more often, which we need.
Same goes for Lycan. I think that was probably his best game as well, especially from an attacking point of view. Yep. Is that just a product of being more comfortable playing first grade?
Yeah, I think it is. I think Lycan would probably be up around 10 first grade games now. It's not a lot when you think about it. So, and then it's hard for a young half, if we're not doing the job in the middle part of the field and going forward and getting some play the balls, and he's playing off the front foot, and that's what we did last week. We, especially from the start, we were on the hop, and Lycan was into the game from the kickoff. So, learning his trade and doing a good job.
Tomorrow's a big day for the club, having the double header. The girls kick off pretty much a new sort of era under Crossy. Do you play into that and let the boys know that it is a momentous occasion?
All the club's aware that the girls, it's round one, and we have a little bit of interaction. As we're leaving sort of in the afternoon, the girls are turning up, and it is a big club. When we're really excited, Crossy's done a lot of work. A little bit of stuff with the NRL, so we wish them luck, and start of a big season for the girls.
I know you mentioned, obviously you've given a lot of opportunities to young players, but unfortunately there's been some injuries. But it's the experienced guys like Emre and Clemmer who's really stepped up, haven't they?
Yeah, the last couple of weeks they have, yeah. And we need him to step up, and Jack de Bellin's in that category as well. He's played well over the last couple of weeks and done a really good job. So, those three players, Emre's played 100, Jack and Clem are over 200, so done a really good job. They're experienced, and I'd like to think that the back end of the year they can lead us, because we definitely need them, because we're down on troops.
Canberra, obviously a good side coming first. They're down a few troops as you guys are. Is this a good time to play them, or?
Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. As I said, I think the players that are coming in, they've got 2 Origin players out, and the players that come in are quality first graders. They're not making their debut, so it gives them an opportunity. During this period, you see, especially look at tonight's game, you see clubs either through injury or through Origin, not the usual starting team, and it gives other players opportunity, which, exactly for us and probably for Canberra as well.
I think the Dragons probably your best performances have been against teams who are up there. Yep. Is that how you've seen it?
Well, I hope it stays that way.
The 2 new wingers, that sort of provides a different, definitely different element in attack. Does that make you change your style a bit because they've got so much speed and agility?
Yeah, it does a little bit. Obviously, losing CT and Nathan Lawson probably more on the side of the power running and backfield running, where obviously Sloaney in particular is more about speed, and but Sione can definitely fits into that category. He's fast, but he's got a big carry as well. So we don't lose too much there, and once again gives 2 players a real big opportunity to nail down a first grade spot, especially at the back end of the year.
There were some reports the Dragons have met with the 2 brothers from Penrith, the Papali'is, I think that's pronounced. Can you tell us a bit more about that, and is there any plans to sign them soon?
I'm not quite sure where it's at, but we have met with them. I think it's pretty close. As I said, I'm not quite sure of the contract situation. That's sort of not in my part, but I have met with them. 2 exciting young players, and let's hope they do join the Dragons.
Just one last question. Any late changes? Any changes for tomorrow? Or?
There'll be a few changes, but once again, no surprises. Just we'll change our bench up a little bit, but no new names, no debuts or anything like that. So just a bit of a shuffle up.